Hey everyone, this is Parkinson Shockwave. I'm with Ryan here at Panorama Bookstore with his Prophecy deck. Why did you choose to play this deck?
Alright, so for anyone who knows me, this is like my favorite deck of all time, and like I own other decks. Last time I played it was like a year ago. I got bodied, so I figured, you know what, I'll bring it back today. You know, just because why not? Still got bodied. Had to realize this deck is actually still pretty bad, but figured I'd relive it. I wanted to find a good build for 2016 because we were going into like a new format, so I wanted to just play something that I knew. So yeah.
Alright, so you want to get started with the deck profile?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
So I played 3 blue guy, then I played 3 justice, and I played 3 priestess. I was borrowing this one, I just gave it back. I played priestess build. In retrospect, I should have actually played world build. I sided world instead. I wanted consistency over utility, but like with the new format, I think utility is like more needed, especially with a deck like this, because like you need to have power plays, and justice just isn't that great anymore. And priestess is still pretty underwhelming unless you have multiples, and if you have multiples, you're not going to summon them. And then just for little tech cards, I played Kaku, I played Jowgen. Kaku is really good against Monarchs. You don't want to but like Monarch isn't the only deck you play against, and so like if you're not playing against Monarch, Kaku's really bad. So I only played 1 so I could summon it off a tower if they destroyed it. And then Jowgen is like generally really good because if you have Jowgen and then you can set up a Fate play, you can lock your opponent out for that turn, and then on your turn you can regain advantage. So that's monsters. It was just 11 monsters, just really simple. For spells, I played a lot of spells, obviously. I played 3 Crescent. I think 3 is still good. You just always want to draw it, but you never want to see it past turn 1, which kind of sucks. But like it's kind of just like a necessary evil, I guess. And then I played 3 Secrets, 2 Master, and I played 2 Tower, and then 2 Fate, 2 Wisdom. I think 2 is a good number in the main. I think it's good to side another copy if you play against like some stupid back row deck, but I think 2 is fine, especially when you're like kind of like getting into a format. I think 2 is just really standard. And then 2 Eternity. You want to have that longevity, and then 1 power that's not ulti. It's really not even that needed, to be honest. I think it's almost win more to an extent. I might cut it just because it's just not consistent. You just don't want to open it. Yeah, I think I might cut it. It's just there for utility. It's not a consistency card. So that's it for like spellbook spells. I didn't play Life because Life is a brick in the early game, and then in the late game, lifing back a priestess is like, it can be game breaking, but if that's your only play, then usually you're losing anyway. And this is just one of those decks where if you brick, you can't do anything. So I just cut Life entirely. Just I wanted to like minimize on the cards that would make me brick. And so, with that being said, I played 3 Duality. You're not playing Temperance, you're playing Justice. So like you want to see this going first, so that you can Duality into a trap, and then you can get Justice to search. And I played 2 Upstart. I didn't even have room for the 3rd, I thought, but like after testing, I probably just got power for a 3rd Upstart. And I played Book. That's still common. It's just a generally good card. It can be used defensively, and then it can be used offensively by cycling Blue Boy and being able to just use more cards. So, and now onto traps. Tucker Lau actually has 3 of the traps, so I'll just say what I played. I played 3 Lose a Turn, and so if Lose a Turn is like really good, but it's not that great against Monarch. Its only real use is being able to negate the Eidos that they summon off of Edea. But against any other deck, it's like really game breaking. But you gotta be careful because you don't want to you don't want to play into your own Lose a Turn, so you want to have Wisdom, and then you also want to play it so when you have this card you can activate it. In the feature match, you guys probably saw it. I had a Priestess face up. I used this, realized I couldn't do it, and that like kind of lost it for me.
I was gonna edit that out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll this part of the video you just said, and edit that one in the video because I wasn't in the mood to put that in.
Alright. And then just the other 3 traps I played that Tucker has is I play 1 Fiendish, I played one warning and I played one strike. I couldn't get a third strike, so I thought that Fiendish would be good because it also Fiendish is generally good in spellbooks because you don't want them to attack over Blue Boy because that's the way that they can out Fate. And then warning was generally good. So when I get 3 strikes, I was gonna play 3 strikes and then probably still play warning because warning's still good. So that was it. 40 cards, and then just side deck real quick, I guess. So I sided into world build. So I sided 2 worlds and 3 temperance. Whenever I played world, ever, I would always just draw it. And like, if you draw world, it's just so bad because the most pivotal play of your deck is just ruined. It's not like a thing where you're drawing Garnet when you play Brilliant Fusion, because like Brilliant Fusion is like just an added thing. World is the entire deck, and so if you draw it, it's just really bad. So I just played 2 for the sole purpose of being able to draw multiples. Being able to summon a second one actually comes up sometimes. It's good when you go second. If you win against like Monarchs or like some back row deck, they're gonna go first. And then you can just punish them for just summoning worlds and then having a wisdom to back it up. Like world and wisdom is like auto win against so many matchups. And then I sided 2 fire hands and then 2 ice hand. So like in spellbooks, there's really not a lot of cards you can just rip off the top that change the state of the game. There's really just not a lot of those. These are just really good late game because if you just draw it in a really simplified game state, it just changes the tide of the game like so much in your favor. And then you can use the hands to kind of stall out for a little bit until you actually draw real combo pieces. Then you can set up like a Fate play or something. And then I sided the 3rd Wisdom for like back row decks for when I go second, because I'd be siding in World, and then this would make sure that World would go through. Like, you want to draw this when you have a good hand, and something cool about Wisdom is it's the only spellbook that you can use on your opponent's turn just to use it. So like, it helps with making Fate live for 3. And then, like, I guess you can protect it too, like, when you do that, which doesn't really come up that much, but it's still useful. And then I sided 3 Mask of Restrict, this is being borrowed, Monarchs, and then 2 Wind Blast. So this is really versatile in the sense that the thing you discard can have use as well. So if you discard something, when you have a Fate set, like if you discard like a spellbook spell, Fate becomes live for 1 number higher than it would be before. It doesn't come up as much, but I also wanted a way to kind of like mitigate the drawback of drawing World. And so Wind Blast just makes it so you can just discard it. And then, like, it gets it out of the way. And so, what I'm going to be doing is, I'm actually going to be shifting back to playing World Build, because I think that's actually better. And I'm going to start playing Life, because Wind Blast, if you discard World, you can Life it back. And I kind of realized that that was a big facet that I wasn't able to do because I wasn't playing Life. So, that's just what I'm going to do going into 2016. I didn't play an extra deck, half because I didn't have one, and half because if my opponent asked me how many cards I had in an extra deck, I'd be able to say 0 and they'd think that I was playing Monarchs, but I was actually playing an even worse deck, so that was cool. And then I played 3 Judgment in 2013, so that's the deck. It's not that great, but this was like a really good build for what it was.
For going against today's format.
Yeah. And this format's really a vacuum, so there's a lot of room for variety. If you can slow your opponent down, Spellbook's a really powerful deck. If this ever comes back, it never will. It'll be a really good deck. And so, yeah, that's just where I stand with Spellbooks.
Alright, thank you again for the deck profile. Any last words before we head out?
Shoutouts to Chris O'Brien for driving me here, actually. That was really cool. And shoutouts to Drawing World. That's all I have.
Alright then. This is Parker Shockwave, signing out.